My name is Claudia, and at 26 years old, my parents kicked me out for my brother's gym gear. A year later, his business died, and they came to my door, broke and begging. If you have ever felt betrayed by the people who should have been your biggest supporters, let me know where you are watching from. I work in marketing for a mid-sized corporation downtown, and I'm tired and the kind that makes your bones feel heavy. I came into the driveway on a Thursday after 11 hours of back-to-back client presentations that went nowhere. Logan's beat-up Honda was parked where I typically park, which caught my attention first. I hadn't seen my younger brother in 9 months. Ever since he dropped out of state school and decided that couch surfing with his dropout friends was a feasible life plan. The second thing I observed was the disassembled squat rack in his back seat. My stomach fell before I opened the front door. The house smelled like reheated pasta and that special kind of tension that occurs just before someone breaks bad news to you. Logan sat on the couch, eating my meal-prepped chicken right from the Tupperware and browsing through fitness Instagram like he owned the house. My mother, Karen, was in the kitchen wiping down already clean counters. My father, Michael, waited near the hallway, pretending to read something on his phone. No one looked at me when I stepped in. "Claudia," Mom murmured, without looking up, "we need to talk about the living situation." I cautiously laid my luggage down. Here we go. "Logan's moving back home," she said. "He needs your room." "My room?" "It's bigger," she explained. "Better lighting for his filming, and he needs space for his home gym equipment." Logan eventually looked up from his phone. "I am creating an internet personal training business, sis, for real this time. I need the appropriate configuration. This is my moment, you know." "Where should I go?" I asked. "The guest room," Mom said, while wiping the same area on the counter. The guest room was cluttered with Christmas decorations and ancient furnishings. "We'll relocate them to the garage." "It will be all right. It's half the size and facing the street." Mom remarked, "You're barely home anyway, always at that office." "When does this need to happen?" "This weekend," she answered. "Sunday is good." 4 days. They were giving me 4 days. Logan eventually looked up from his phone. "Thank you for understanding, sis. This arrangement is going to be insane. I'm finally going to make this work." I stared at him. He had 142 followers on Instagram. His account was at LoganFit/Transform. In the last 7 months, he'd posted 44 shirtless mirror selfies and about a dozen fitness videos that each received 18 likes, the majority of which came from folks we went to high school with. He had earned exactly $12. "You're barely home anyway," Mom explained, "always at that office." "Plus, you don't need all that space for suits and a laptop," Logan replied. "I need room for my bench, squat rack, lighting, filming space, real equipment." I opened my lips to argue, to point out that I do live here, that I have a life, a workspace, and other important possessions. But Mom shut me off. "Logan needs space for his equipment and content development. He's starting a serious business." Dad said nothing. He didn't even look up from his phone, simply stood there like a piece of furniture. "How about the bills I pay?" I asked. Mom did not miss a beat. "Obviously, you will continue to handle that. This is still your home. You're still a member of this family." There it was, the thing that tightened my chest. For 3 years, I'd been paying $900 per month for this house. Internet, utilities, groceries, streaming services, Mom's car insurance, things they'd asked me to assist with that became permanent. Things they stopped thanking me for after the first month. "Logan needs to focus on building his brand right now," Mom explained. "He cannot be distracted by debts or duties. He will contribute once his coaching business takes off." I looked at Dad. He was still staring at the phone, wouldn't meet my gaze. They were not asking. They were telling. "When do I have to be out?" I asked gently. "Sunday's fine," Mom said. "That gives you the weekend." Logan had already returned to his phone, reading through fitness influencer accounts, and perhaps imagining himself among them. I went upstairs to my room, which I'd had since I was 9. Posters from high school still on the walls, my desk, where I'd done homework, written college applications, and created the budget that kept this place operating without anybody noticing. I sat on my bed, pulling up my bank statements. $915 last month, $942 the previous month, and $885 prior to that. I scrolled back. 3 years of payments totaling almost $22,000. Logan was performing noisy push-ups, counting reps as if he were recording. Then Mom's voice. Claudia, can you pick up protein powder on your way home from work tomorrow? Logan is almost out, as if nothing had occurred. I opened my laptop and searched for apartments. Then I opened a second tab and typed how to remove yourself from utility accounts. If they wanted me gone, I would leave altogether. During my lunch break on Friday morning, I found a studio apartment for $12,200 a month, 30 minutes from work, and available immediately. Small, but clean. When I told the landlord I could sign today and move in tomorrow, he did not ask any questions. I took a sick day, my first in 20 months. By midday, I was back at home with boxes from U-Haul. Mom and Dad were at work. Logan was still sleeping. I packed in silence. Clothes, books, laptop, and the desk I'd purchased for myself sophomore year of college. Everything was mine. 3 years of life packed into boxes and rubbish bags. Logan walked out at midday wearing compression shorts and a tank top, holding a protein shaker. He paused when he saw the boxes heaped outside my door. Yo, are you taking all that? It's mine. Yeah, but like I was going to use that bookshelf for my supplements and equipment. Get yours, I instructed. Damn. Okay, sis. Chill. He scrolled through his phone. Do you have a link to where you bought it? I didn't respond. I just dragged another box down to my car. 3 trips. That was all it took to get myself out of this house. Mom returned home around 3 p.m. She stood in the driveway, arms crossed, as I loaded the last box. You're not really being theatrical about this, are you? I am doing what you asked. I am leaving. We are not kicking you out. We are merely rearranging. This is what families do. We create space for each other. I closed the trunk. She followed me to the driver's side door. So, about the utility transfer, I will email you the account information. You have 28 days before they shut off. Her face transformed. What do you mean shut off? The accounts are in my name. You'll have to open fresh ones. That is ludicrous. Just continue paying them. We can send you our share via Venmo. I gazed at her, really stared at her. You have never Venmo'd me your share. You are entitled to these services since you live here. I won't live here as of right now. You're being extremely selfish. Your father will hear about this. I went into my car. Logan was now on the porch, filming himself using his phone. Hey, sister, before you leave, could you explain to me how to reset the Wi-Fi router? It keeps cutting out whenever I try to upload videos. I backed out of the driveway without responding. Dad's automobile drove past mine 2 streets distant. He was returning home. I observed him in my rearview mirror. He didn't slow down or turn around, just kept driving toward the home as if nothing was occurring. He did not even wave. The studio smelled like smoke and cheap air freshener. 1 room, a bathroom, and a kitchen that was essentially just a counter with a hot plate. But it was mine. It's just mine. I emptied the boxes in silence, put them against the wall, ordered pizza, and ate it on the floor. Around 10 p.m., my phone started buzzing. 4 missed calls from Mom. I let them ring through. That night, I slept on a slow, leaking air mattress. I woke up around 2 a.m., half deflated on the floor. Sunday morning, I spent 3 hours on my laptop, deleting my name from everything. Electric company account closure sought for October 30th. The internet provider is the same. Water, gas, Hulu, Netflix, Spotify, Family Plan, YouTube Premium, and Amazon Prime. I completed the forms one by one, supplied verification of my new address, and requested that the accounts be closed. Then I drafted an email to my folks, subject, account information, action required by October 30th. I listed each service, its typical monthly cost, and the firm phone numbers they'd need to call to open new accounts. Attached was a spreadsheet with 36 months of payments sorted by category. No greeting, explanation, or sign-off. I pressed send. The remainder of Sunday was peaceful. I purchased furniture from IKEA and Facebook Marketplace, including a bed frame, desk, bookcase, and actual dishes rather than paper. The flat began to feel more like a living space than a place to hide. I checked my email once. The message to my parents read, Read at 6:40 p.m. There was no answer. Monday morning, I returned to work. A big presentation is coming soon. Major client. A potential promotion is on the line. By Tuesday morning, I had nearly forgotten about them. Then my phone started vibrating during a meeting. Mom. 7 texts and 4 calls, all from Mom. I hushed it and concentrated on the presentation deck in front of me. The last sentence preview lit up my screen. The internet is not working. Logan has an hour-long client consultation call. Call me right now. I flipped my phone face down. Logan did not have any clients. After the meeting, I listened to the voicemails, which showed Mom's voice becoming increasingly distressed across 6 messages. Wi-Fi is not connecting. Did you forget to pay your bill? Claudia, this is not funny. Logan cannot film stuff without the internet. He maintains a posting schedule. When your father called them, they said the account was closed. What have you done? Logan missed a consultation call due to you. Do you realize how unprofessional that makes him look? You are being quite immature. Call me back right away. Logan had also texted, Dude, with no internet, I have sponsors reaching out and I can't even check my DMs. This is sabotage, sister. I deleted everything. Logan did not have any sponsors either. Aunt Susan, Karen's sister, called on Wednesday afternoon. We spoke maybe twice a year. Your mother is quite upset. What's happening? I have moved out. I terminated accounts under my name. That's it. She said, You abandoned them without warning and left them with no internet or power. I gave them 28 days' notice and all the account information they needed. Logan wants to start a business. Do you understand how difficult it is for young people right now? Do you know how much I've paid in bills over the last 3 years? Silence on the other end. Family doesn't keep score, Claudia. $22,000 is not keeping score. That's just mathematics. More silence. If Logan wants to be a business owner, he should learn how to pay bills. She did not call back. Thursday morning, my manager approached me after the customer presentation. We had landed it, a $360,000 annual contract. We are promoting you to senior account manager, 20% increase starting next month. First, some genuine good news. In 2 weeks, my pay increased from $70,000 to $84,000. That night, I celebrated alone in my studio apartment with an expensive cocktail that I'd been saving up for. I toasted myself in the empty room to no longer being useful. Friday evening, someone knocked on my door. I peeked through the peephole. Dad. I opened the door, but did not welcome him inside. We spoke in the hallway. He looked fatigued and older than I remembered. You need to fix this. What has to be fixed? The bills, the internet, all of it. Your mother is losing her sanity. Logan's business is struggling. Then they can call the companies and set up new accounts. You know we can't afford all that without your help. I stared at him. Where were you when she threw me out? She did not kick you out. She simply needed to reorganize. Where were you? He stared at his sneakers. I tried to speak to her. She would not listen. You did not try hard enough. You didn't even try. If you don't help us, things are going to get really difficult. You should have thought of that before giving my room away for a home gym. This is your family. No, it's your family. I am merely the one who paid the bills so Logan could take shirtless selfies. He's attempting to build something. He's 23 years old and has 190 Instagram followers. That is not building anything. That's fooling around. Dad flinched. Your mother thinks you owe us. I do not owe you anything. I already gave you 3 years and 22 grand. He departed without saying anything else, walking down the hallway like a man who knew he was wrong but couldn't accept it. That night, I blocked Mom's number. I kept Dad unblocked for reasons I didn't entirely comprehend. Logan was blocked. I checked Instagram one final time before deleting it. Logan had shared a rant in his stories. Fake family is worse than having no relatives. Some folks will smile in your face before stabbing you in the back. I see you. Maintain your current level of energy 100%. Betrayed, watery, fake family waterers. Stay focused. I posted from my folks' place using their new data plan. They had somehow regained access to the internet. I screenshotted it, saved it, and then erased Instagram completely. Sunday night, when sitting at my new workplace, I realized I hadn't thought about them all day. Small victory. I opened my laptop to check on business emails. One caught my eye, a company newsletter showcasing my most recent customer triumph. My name is bold. Senior Account Manager Claudia leads a significant Q4 win. This was the first time my name had been associated with something I was proud of in months. Monday morning, I received a LinkedIn message. David Clark, project manager for a partner company. We had met briefly at a convention 7 months ago. Good chat, smart, direct. I'd considered reaching out, but never did. Hi, I saw your promotion announcement. Congratulations on the client win. Want to meet for coffee and discuss potential collaboration between our teams? I stared at the message. First person to congratulate me who was not bribed to do so. I replied, coffee sounds fantastic. How about Thursday? His reaction arrived within minutes. Perfect. 10:00 a.m. at Riverside Coffee. See you there. I shut my laptop and looked around the studio. The space is little, quiet. Mine. My phone vibrated once. Unknown number. Mom probably called from someone else's phone. I let it ring through. Whatever they required, whatever crisis Logan had caused, whatever guilt trip Mom chose to use, it was no longer my problem. I was done being the fix-it girl. For the first time in 3 years, I had control over my life. Thursday couldn't arrive fast enough. 7 months went by more quickly than I thought. David and I had been dating for 4 months. Coffee transformed into lunch. Lunch transformed into dinner. Dinner led into weekends at his or my apartment. He inquired about my family once over Thai food in February. We don't talk. Do you want to discuss why? Not yet. He nodded before changing the subject. Never pressed. That's when I realized he was different. Work was good. I currently manage 3 significant accounts. The promotion came with significant responsibilities, longer hours but higher pay. I haven't heard from my parents since Dad showed up at my door. Complete silence. Uncle Tom, Dad's younger brother, stretched out. I've always been the black sheep in the family. I never bought into Mom's crap. We met for coffee in March. Your dad won't tell me what happened, Tom replied. But Karen is telling everyone at family events that you stole money and abandoned Logan when he needed support. I took out my phone and forwarded him something I had prepared months ago. 30 pages. Every bill, transfer, and receipt. 3 years of payments documented. He scrolled through it, his face becoming darker with each page. Jesus Christ, kid. I was aware she was controlling, but this is financial abuse. Following that, we started meeting on a monthly basis. Sometimes his daughter Chloe would join us. She was my age and a graphic designer. Karen had always treated you poorly. I told my mom years ago that your family was weird, Chloe stated one afternoon. The way they talked about you versus Logan, like you were the help to them. I received Logan's status updates. His fitness coaching career was over. 190 followers, 0 clients. He had tried advertising training packages and running competitions. Nobody bought in. New plan, day trading crypto. He convinced Karen to give him $9,500. I lost it all in 7 weeks. Current plan, NFT fitness programs, whatever that means. Still lived at home, still unemployed, still sharing shirtless selfies. According to Chloe's recent post, they laugh at visionaries until their idea becomes a reality. 18 likes. April struck like a freight train. Tom called me at work on Tuesday. Voice is serious. Your dad suffered a heart attack. He is at County General. Everything became frigid. Is he okay? Stable, minor issue, but a caution. The doctor said that it was stress-related, but you should know. I hung up and waited in my car for 20 minutes. David texted, "Lunch?" My dad suffered a heart attack. His response was quick, "I'm coming to you." He arrived 15 minutes later with sandwiches, sat with me in silence until I felt ready to speak. Do you want to go see him? I don't know. I went alone that evening at 8:00 p.m. I hoped Karen would not be there. She was. Dad was in bed, linked up to monitors and appearing older than his 54 years. Karen noticed me walk in. Her visage alternated between disbelief, rage, relief, and entitlement. You finally arrived. We should talk about I'm not here for you. I walked past her to Dad's bed. He was awake, disoriented from medication, saw me, and instantly began crying. How do you feel? I am sorry. For what? All of it. I should have. I did not. His voice crackled. Could not complete. Karen interrupted. Claudia, your father needs to relax, but since you're here, we need to talk about the medical costs. Insurance cannot cover everything. And I gently turned to her. Get out. Excuse me? I came to see him, not you. Get out or I'll leave. How dare you? I moved towards the door. Karen, please, Michael said in a faint but forceful voice. She did not depart. Instead, she went on a tirade right there in the hospital room. She began into the typical script. I'd abandoned them, damaged Logan's business, and owed them for raising me. Logan didn't have a business, I responded. He had an Instagram account and a bench press. We gave you everything. I paid you $22,000. We are even. A nurse entered. Ma'am, you need to keep your voice down or I'll have to ask you to leave. This is my family, I will say. However, I walked out. Dad watched me leave, tears streaming down his cheeks, said nothing. Did not defend me, did not tell Mom to quit, just lay there. I sat in my car in the parking lot, hands trembling. I texted David. I should not have come. Would you like me to come get you? No, I'm okay. I will be home soon. I love you. This is the first time any of us has spoken it. I stared at the text, my vision blurred. I typed back, I love you too. That night, David held me while I stared at the ceiling. He said nothing. She went off on me, and he just laid there. I know. Why wasn't I enough? You were always enough. They simply couldn't see it. 4 days later, Michael texted from a new phone number. Thank you for attending. I am sorry about your mother. I apologize for everything. I did not reply for a week, then, concentrate on recovery. Can we speak sometime? It's just us. I am not ready. I understand. I will wait. 1 year after leaving, my life had changed dramatically. I'd been promoted again to account director, $92,000 pay for supervising a team of 4. I moved to a better apartment in May, 1 bedroom with a balcony and a proper kitchen. David basically lived there with his toothbrush in the bathroom, half of his clothes in the closet, and his coffee mug on the counter every morning. We'd been together 10 months. He had met Tom and Chloe, my coworkers and college buddies. He had not met my folks. I did not ask, did not need to. We got engaged around Christmas. Simple proposal at his parents' home. There was no great production, just me, him, and a ring I had been saving for. He answered yes before I could finish asking. We scheduled the wedding for June, a small ceremony, only close friends and relatives. David shared a photo of the ring on Instagram a few days later. Simple caption, the easiest yes of my life. I didn't use social media anymore. I hadn't for months. But I forgot that Tom was following David. He said, congratulations to you both. I can't wait for the wedding. He then posted it on Facebook. Dad saw it. He was friendly with Tom. The next morning, I received a text message from an unfamiliar phone number. Congratulations, daughter. I am proud of you. He looks great. I wish I could be there. I showed David over coffee. What would you like to do? I don't know. I kept it on read for 4 days. I kept rereading it. I wish I could be there. It seemed as if something was stopping him, as if he had no choice. Day 5, my telephone rang. Unknown area code. I responded, assuming it was work-related. Claudia, I heard you're getting married, and you haven't even told your mother. I hung up instantly. She phoned back 6 times from various numbers. I blocked them all. That evening, an email arrived. The email was just as expected. She was my mother. She had the right to be part. David deserved to meet his future mother-in-law properly. How might Logan be excluded? They were willing to get past this if I was. They wanted to help pay for the wedding. David stared at me. Is she serious? She thinks she can buy her way back in. What are you planning to do? Nothing. I did not react to the email, but I did compose a text to Dad. It took me 2 days to finalize it. I rewrote it 11 times. I finally sent it. If you want a seat at the wedding, there is one available. It's just you, not Karen, not Logan. It's your choice. Wedding date is June 21st. RSVP by May 15th. He read it around 11:44 p.m. The read receipt appeared quickly. No response. Days went into weeks. David inquired once in early April. Any word from your father? No, I'm sorry. I was not surprised, but I checked my phone more frequently than I should have. April 30th arrived and went. There was no response from Michael. June 7th, a week before the wedding. My phone buzzed while I was brushing my teeth before bed. Dad sent a text. I can't attend. Karen says if I leave without her and Logan, she will divorce me. I can't afford it right now, with my medical costs and everything else. I apologize, Claudia. I hope you can understand. You deserve to be happy. I reread it 3 times. Spit toothpaste into the sink. Showed David. I entered a response. I understand perfectly. You've chosen her over me again. This is your last opportunity. Do not contact me anymore. Hit the send button. I blocked his number, deleted the entire text thread. I felt nothing but clarity. Wedding week moved quickly. Work, venue, rehearsal, and dinner. David had inquired the night before. Any regrets about them not being there? They were never really there anyway. Wedding morning. I was getting ready with my bridesmaids when Tom stopped me in the hallway. Your father contacted me last night, 2:00 a.m. He's a mess, crying, and asked me to persuade you to let him come. What have you told him? I told him he made his decision and now has to deal with it. Then I told him he was a coward and hung up. I nodded slowly. Thank you. But Claudia, I believe he is now realizing it. Who she is, what he has allowed to happen, and what he has lost. It is destroying him. Good. Are you sure about that? He had 1,000 opportunities to pick me. He chose her every time. He can't be destroyed now and expect my sympathy. Tom squeezed my shoulder. Fair enough. Let us get you married. The ceremony began at 4 p.m. There are 2 empty seats in the front row on the bride's side. I left them there on purpose. I wanted the absence to be evident. We spent our honeymoon in Colorado. 5 days spent trekking and visiting small-town brewers. I scarcely glanced at my phone. For 5 days, my history did not exist. Thursday evening, we returned to the flat. Mail stacked up on the counter. Bills, wedding cards, and rubbish. I opened my email as David was unpacking. One from Chloe. You should see this. Sorry for ruining the honeymoon glow. Logan was arrested. DUI. Hit a parked automobile. Nobody was wounded, but he's in severe danger, and Karen is having a complete meltdown. I thought you should know, even if you don't care anymore. If you need further information, please call me. Attachment. A screenshot from a local news item. David read over my shoulder. Oh my God, is he all right? He is alive. He is stupid, but he is alive. Will you reach out or... No. I erased the email. I ordered takeaway. We saw a movie. I did not think about Logan again. Monday. Tom called at lunchtime. Your dad has been phoning me. Will not cease. He would like your phone number. I told him I'd ask you first. Why would he want it now? Logan's bail is $17,000. Karen has been calling everyone in the family begging for money. I said no. Chloe said no. Even Aunt Susan said no. She's insisting that Michael liquidate his retirement funds to help Logan out, and he replied no. A long pause. He said no. I told her Logan needed to face real repercussions for once. She threatened divorce. He did not back down. Good on him. Nothing changes. Claudia, I believe your father is finally cracking. He inquired whether there were images from the wedding. What have you told him? That it was beautiful. David looked stunned. That you appeared happy, and he missed it because he is a coward who made the wrong decision. He isn't asking for my phone number to get money, is he? No, I believe he simply wants to talk. He sounded broken. I'm not ready to care about that yet. Fair. I just wanted you to know. 3 months went by. I heard the updates from Tom. Logan pleaded guilty. He lost his license for 2 years. 240 hours of community service, 20 months of probation. Fines totaled $8,200. Karen took out a $13,500 personal loan with 19% interest to pay his fines, but she didn't stop there. She bought him a second-hand automobile for $9,000 since he needed reliable transportation while job seeking. Logan still had no work. He hadn't had one in 3 years. By October, Michael arrived home after work to find a letter from the bank. Karen had taken out that $13,500 debt without notifying him. Joint account in both of their names. He also discovered the receipt for the car purchase. According to Tom, who heard from Rachel, who heard from a neighbor, the battle went nuclear. Michael confronted her around the kitchen table. She had hidden $13,500 in debt from him. Logan, who was still unemployed, received another automobile. The conflict was explosive. Karen defended Logan. He made a mistake. He requires support. He needs transportation. Michael eventually snapped. Logan is 24 years old, unemployed, unlicensed, and without a future. Meanwhile, Claudia has a degree, a job, and a marriage. Claudia has abandoned us, Karen shouted. No, we abandoned her, Michael said quietly, and I am done pretending we didn't. Then get out. Michael packed a backpack that night, motel for 1 week, followed by a month-to-month rental. He filed for divorce 3 weeks later. Tom informed me over coffee. Okay, I said. Is that it? What would you like me to say? That I'm glad they're unhappy? I'm not. I'm just numb to it. He's asking about you a lot. Good for him. But I felt something. Just a little crack in the wall I had built around myself. David and I invited Tom, Rachel, Chloe, David's parents, and some close friends over for Thanksgiving. 10 people packed around a table designed for 6. Chaotic, warm, and real. My phone buzzed as I was slicing the turkey. David checked it. Unknown number, he said. He read aloud. This is your father, using Tom's old phone. I know you have blocked me. I simply wanted to say how grateful I am that you exist. Even if you don't want me in your life anymore, I apologize for everything. I'm currently in treatment, attempting to get better, even if it's too late. I hope you are happy. You deserve to be. Dad. I put down the carving knife. Are you okay? David asked. Yeah, I'm good. I didn't respond, but I didn't delete the message either. 6 months later, I was 14 weeks pregnant. In May, David and I closed on a house with 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a tiny yard. Although cosmetic remodeling was required, the bones were solid, $365,000. Our names were on the deed, nobody else's. I'd been promoted to Senior Director of Accounts, earning $150,000 and overseeing a department. Life was objectively and obviously good. I thought of Michael on occasion, not often, but sometimes. The Thanksgiving text was still on my phone, had not reacted. I hadn't erased it. Michael did not text much from Tom's phone. Every few months, a message appeared. I saw your company received the healthcare deal. Congratulations. Happy birthday, Claudia. Tom indicated that you are buying a property. That is fantastic. I'm so proud of you. I never responded, but I did read each one. In March, Tom told me over lunch that the divorce was final. Michael was ruined. Karen received the house, 60% of his savings, and a car. Michael was repaying half of Karen's loan for Logan, joint debt. He lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and worked overtime. He wouldn't be financially recovered for 8 years. He was 55 years old. Does Logan still live with her? I asked. Where else could he go? He can't even get a job at Target. April. A letter came to our new home, a handwritten envelope. I recognized the handwriting even though there was no return address. David found it. There's a letter here from your dad. I stared at it for 20 minutes before opening it. 3 pages. Michael's rough penmanship filled every line. He revealed everything. That he chose comfort over protection. That he aided Logan and allowed Karen to harm me because he was too weak to stand up to her. That he is in therapy twice a week, attempting to fix himself even if it is too late. Tom had shown him our wedding photographs. He saw how happy I was without him. The letter concluded, I'm alone now and I deserve it. If you ever want to talk even just once, I'm available. Claudia, I sincerely apologize for everything. I read it twice. Set it on the kitchen countertop. I did not toss it away. Did not respond. Just left it there. That night, David inquired, "What are you going to do?" "I don't know." "Do you want to see him?" "Part of me does. Part of me believes it's far too late." "It's too late for what you needed then, but maybe it's not too late to try anything different now." "Like what?" "I don't know, but you get to make the decision. Not him, not me, you." 3 weeks later, I texted Tom, "If my father asks for my phone number again, you can give it to him." 2 days later, I received an SMS from a new number. "It's Michael. Tom said you were cool with me getting this. Thank you. That means more than you realize. If you ever want to get coffee, I'm available. No pressure, no expectations." I waited for 5 days. Then Saturday, 10:12 a.m., Riverside Coffee, 5th Street. 1 hour. "That's it." He replied, "I will be there, thank you." I arrived 15 minutes early. Corner table, escape route visible. Michael strolled in at 9:58 a.m. Older, thinner, grayer, and exhausted. When he saw me, he stopped for a second before gently walking over. "Thanks for meeting me. Sit down." He sat, awkward, quiet. "I will not waste your time with small conversation. I understand you don't owe me anything." "You're correct, I don't." "Why didn't you speak up for me? Not once, not ever." A long pause. He stared at his coffee. "Because I was scared." "Of what?" She was angry. Of conflict. Of being alone. Of having to accept I married someone I couldn't change, yet stayed anyway. I understand how sad that sounds. It is pathetic. I understand. You selected that above your daughter, over me. I did, and I'll regret it every day for the rest of my life. That doesn't change anything. I understand, but I need you to hear it regardless. We sat for 90 minutes. He asked about David, the house, and the baby. I gave brief responses, staying guarded. He told me about therapy and what he was learning. "I've spent 30 years avoiding conflict. It cost me everything that mattered." Yeah, it did. At the end, I said, "I'm not ready to have you in my life yet." "I understand, but I'm not saying never. I'm saying not yet." His eyes welled up. "That's more than I deserve." "Yeah, it is." I got up to leave and then turned around. "Don't make me regret this." "I won't." We met every 6 to 8 weeks thereafter. Coffee, sometimes lunch. Michael never pressed. Always arrived on time. Always respected boundaries. Month 6. I informed him about the baby. In December, I gave birth. Noah James was healthy. 2 days later, I texted Michael a picture. This was the first photo I had ever sent him. Just the baby. He replied, "He's gorgeous. Congratulations to you both." "Thanks," I wrote back. 3 months later. "Would you like to meet him?" "Are you certain?" 1 hour in our home. David will be there. He arrived exactly on time, carrying a small stuffed giraffe wrapped in tissue paper. His hands trembled as he stepped into the living room. The house smelled faintly of baby powder and fresh coffee. David stood beside me, calm but cautious, his arm loosely around my shoulders. Michael looked smaller than I remembered, thinner, shoulders hunched, like life had folded him inward. When he saw Noah in my arms, he froze, his breath caught, eyes glistening. "Can I?" he asked quietly. I nodded. He sat down slowly, letting me place Noah into his arms. For a moment, the world shrank to the soft sound of my son's breathing. Michael blinked several times, his lips quivering. "He's perfect," he whispered. "He looks like you." David smiled politely. Mostly her eyes. Michael's throat worked hard before he could speak again. "Thank you for letting me see him. I never thought I'd be welcome anywhere again." "You're here," I said softly. "That's something." He nodded, tears slipping down his cheeks. Noah stirred and yawned. The moment was both fragile and healing, a thin thread stretching across years of silence and mistakes. We talked carefully, like people learning a new language. He told me about therapy, about the men's support group he joined for parents estranged from their children. He'd been sober for nearly a year, though I hadn't even known he'd been drinking before. "I used to think avoiding conflict was the same as keeping peace," he admitted, "but all I did was give power to the loudest person in the room. I thought love meant keeping quiet. It doesn't. It means standing up even when you're scared." I didn't reply right away. Noah cooed, waving his tiny hands. "And what about Karen?" I finally asked. He sighed. "She still calls sometimes, mostly to yell. She's still with Logan. They live together in the house. I keep my distance. Do you ever talk to him? No. He blames me for everything. For her loan, the divorce, even the DUI. He's angry because I stopped bailing him out. I nodded. He always needed someone to rescue him. Michael looked at me. And I always needed to feel useful. That's what made it so easy for her to control me. It was strange. Hearing him speak the truth, I'd screamed in my head for years. He stayed for an hour. Before leaving, he looked around our living room. The shelves of books, the framed photos from our wedding, the baby blanket draped over the couch. You've built something beautiful, he said quietly. You did everything right, even when we did everything wrong. Thank you, I said. He lingered a moment longer. I don't expect forgiveness, Claudia, but I want you to know I'm proud of you, of who you became despite us. I didn't answer, I just nodded. He understood. Some things didn't need words. When he left, the door clicked softly behind him. David looked at me. You okay? Yeah, I whispered. For the first time in a long time, I think I am. Months passed. Michael and I saw each other once every couple of months. Always short visits, always respectful. He never asked for more than I was willing to give. When Noah turned 1, Michael sent a card and a small wooden toy train he had carved himself. It was rough around the edges, but heartfelt. Inside the card he wrote, "A small train for the start of his journey. I hope one day he knows his grandfather loved him, even if he learned too late how to show it." I cried when I read it, quietly, then tucked it into Noah's memory box. By then, life had settled into something steady and calm. My work team had grown under my leadership. David was thriving in his own company. We spent weekends painting the nursery, cooking together, and laughing about how Noah had learned to toddle around faster than we could catch him. Every so often, a reminder of the past would sneak in. An old email thread, a spam call from Mom's old number, a tagged photo of Logan still flexing shirtless on social media with captions about comeback season. But I no longer felt anger, only distance, like watching someone else's story play out from a safe shore. 2 years after Noah's birth, Tom called unexpectedly one Sunday morning. His tone was quiet, careful. "Claudia, I thought you should hear this from me. Your mother passed away last night." I felt nothing at first, just a strange, hollow stillness. How? Stroke. It was fast. She'd been stressed about money for months. I sat down on the couch. David, across the room, watched me silently. "Is Dad okay?" "He's the one who told me. He said he's not sure whether to reach out. I told him I'd pass it along." "Thank you," I said. My voice sounded like it belonged to someone else. That night, after putting Noah to bed, I stood in the kitchen with a cup of tea. The house was quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator. David came up behind me, wrapping his arms around my waist. "You don't have to reach out," he said softly. "You owe her nothing." "I know," I whispered. "But maybe I'll go to the funeral. Not for her, for me." The church was small, nearly empty. The few who attended were extended relatives, people who hadn't spoken to me in years. Logan sat in the front pew, thinner, his face drawn and tired. He didn't look at me. I didn't expect him to. Michael was there too, sitting alone at the end of the second row. When I entered, he stood up. Our eyes met. For the first time in a decade, there was no guilt there, only quiet understanding. During the service, I didn't cry. I thought about the house I grew up in, the rules, the expectations, the way love always had strings attached. And then I thought about Noah, about how I would never let him feel that kind of love. Mine would be unconditional, loud, and unshakable. After the service, Michael approached me outside. The spring sunlight hit his face, and for a moment I saw the father I remembered from childhood, before resentment, before silence. "Thank you for coming," he said softly. "She was still my mother," I replied. He nodded. "You're a better person than we ever were. I just learned what not to become." He smiled sadly. "That's something." Later that night, back home, I sat by Noah's crib watching him sleep. His small chest rising and falling, fingers curled into tiny fists. David leaned in the doorway, watching quietly. "You okay?" he asked again. I nodded. I finally am." I reached out and brushed Noah's hair from his forehead. "You're going to grow up knowing what love really means," I whispered, and that's all I ever wanted. David came over, kissed the top of my head, and whispered, "She'd never understand what you built, but I do." I smiled faintly. That's enough. Outside, the night was still. The house we built stood steady, ours and no one else's. The ghosts of old debts and misplaced loyalties were finally quiet. And for the first time in my life, peace didn't feel like running away. It felt like home.